Love is an interesting experience. Some of us are terrified of not having it. Some of us are terrified of having it. Some of us have no idea how to get it, and others run away as fast as they can when it arrives via FedEx on their doorstep. I ran all of these patterns at various times in my life. Then there are others who have it, enjoy it, foster it, and cultivate it. This is where I am now. The one thing we have in common as a human race is that we all want it, desperately. Let's take a few steps back for a moment and lay some groundwork here. Apparently, I am known for saying quite a few one-liners at iRestart, and one of them is, in every encounter, we're always solving for two things, love and safety. I got this quote actually from Carl Buchheit at NLP Marin. We're constantly asking ourselves, and most of the time we're asking it unconsciously, is, am I feeling loved in this moment? Am I feeling safe in this moment? When I first met my girlfriend, she didn't buy that for a second and immediately challenged me. So you're saying when I'm buying a Burberry bag, you actually mean to tell me that I'm solving for either love or safety? Yep, I replied smugly. Then she said, show me. So I did. By the end of our 7-minute conversation, we found out that buying a Burberry bag for her is solving for love. She was rather surprised at the depth of this experience, which uncovered a belief system for her and how quickly it did so. When we have the experience of feeling both love and safe, we feel as though we belong. And when we feel as though we belong, we start to allow ourselves to bond, to connect, or attach, which is a commonly used expression in the field of psychology. We are also solving a secondary equation when we've worked out the answer to our love and safety question. And that secondary question is, do I feel guilt or innocence with this action? The definition of guilt is always some variation of, I have done something bad. This is very different than shame, which is defined as, I am bad. Guilt is an action-oriented or behavior-based experience, whereas shame is an identity-based experience. Bert Hellinger is known for saying, in a family of thieves, the child who does not steal has a guilty conscience. Think about that for a second. Think about the culture of your family, the spoken and unspoken rules. Think about what you did as a child to make sure that you either felt loved or felt safe. Whether you did whatever it took to play by the family rules and remain innocent, no matter the cost. Or that you played by your own rules, known as your values. And as a result, may have been seen as the guilty party, the ostracized one, or relegated in some capacity. Some of history's greatest tragedies were done in total innocence. Think about opposing sides of warfare. Each side believes absolutely in their cause and will go forth at any cost to uphold their values, their innocence, including taking the lives of civilians. Why is this important? Well, when we're solving for love and safety through innocence, we are creating connection, bonding, we're attaching to those around us. When we're solving for love and safety through guilt, we're actually creating an experience of shame for ourselves because we don't feel that we belong, whether to family, to the team, the organization, our community, even to ourselves when we don't align with and adhere to our own set of values. So the key here is to solve for love and safety while remaining innocent and aligned to your own rules, to your own values. Limbic resonance is a term advanced by Drs. Thomas Lewis, Fari Amini, and Richard Lannon, who co-wrote a book called A General Theory of Love. Limbic resonance, quote, refers to the capacity for empathy and nonverbal connection that is present in animals and that forms the basis of our social connections, as well as the foundation for various modes of therapy and healing. According to the authors, our nervous systems are not self-contained, but rather demonstrably attuned to those around us with whom we share a close connection. Within the effulgence of their new brain, mammals developed a capacity we call limbic resonance, a symphony of mutual exchange and internal adaptation whereby two mammals become attuned to each other's inner states. Wow. So, as long as we're following the rules, we feel innocent, and we have limbic resonance. If we feel guilty, then we may have the experience of feeling isolated, the outsider, and not sure how to relate to others. What the authors talk about at length is being attuned to other people's inner states. But it's absolutely vital to be in touch with our own inner states first and foremost, and create a certain level of internal limbic resonance. The key here is solving for love and safety while feeling innocent to ourselves, that we are aligned with our own set of values. Because when we go against our core beliefs, our core values, then we are blatantly discounting and disrespecting ourselves. And that is when we run into trouble. We experience depression, procrastination, confusion. We distract ourselves with silly things or find ourselves embroiled in situations that take us down paths that remind us, oh yeah, I don't want to be here. I spent almost 5 years in an open relationship, reminding myself every single week, if not every single day, that I didn't enjoy this, that this is too painful. But it was what my partner wanted, and I kept working on changing that part of myself until I realized my own set of values involved being in a close relationship, and that it was okay. When we get to this place, a place that our values take prominence, and that we can honor and respect our values, then we arrive at a place called undefended love. Jet Saris and Marlena Lyons are the authors of a book called Undefended Love, and their approach identifies the layers of emotional defenses that have been built up over our lives and learning to create pattern interrupts to refrain from adding to those layers to reveal what they call our essential self. Arriving at our essential selves is critical. We begin to align more intentionally with our values and have a far greater sense of limbic resonance with our inner states. And we begin to have a greater sense of love, self-love.